Hey guys, welcome back to Objective Reviews. My name's Nick, and I wanted to make a quick video on the whole Meltdown Spectre situation and how it is affecting my iOS devices. So, yeah, let's first talk about what Spectre and Meltdown are. Now, I'm going to try my best to explain this to you as simply as possible. If you know already what these are, you can skip right ahead by a few seconds, uh, 10 15 seconds. So, here it goes. Imagine that your CPU knows that every single time you can either choose between 1 and 0. So, what it does is processes for both 1 and 0 and keeps both results ready. And between whatever you choose, it then goes further down that road. Now, because of the whole Meltdown and Spectre situation and the patches that came afterwards, well, now your CPU has to wait for your input before it can process further down the line. And what this has done is made the whole situation go from probabilistic to more deterministic. And because of that, it is taking more time to process the instruction set that it is receiving through its pipeline. Now, if I was too technical or you still did not get what this whole thing is about, I'll leave a link down in the description to the XKCD comic on the matter, and it has done a brilliant job about explaining it for the masses, and you should go check it out. So, with all of this aside, Apple released iOS 11.2.2, and what this does is brings patches for Meltdown and Spectre into iOS, and that is a whole different situation I'll talk about in a bit. And let's take a look at the scores. So as you can see on your screens for the iPhone X, we have 4,235 before the patch and 4,226 after the patch. So that's about 9 points, and that is not that big of a deal, or not a big deal at all. But when you come into the multi-core scores, you have 10,435 before and 10,192 after. And that is a pretty big hit for the multi-core score, and that's roughly about 300 points. And this shouldn't affect power users much because most apps do not tend to use all the available cores on the iPhone. So yeah, not a big deal again. On the iPad, we have 3,847 before and 3,962 after for the single core scores, and 9,504 before and 9,417 after for the multi-core scores. And as you can see, the iPad Pro 12.9 inches actually got a small bump for single core operations, whereas it got a small decrease for multi-core operations. And both of these are very minute and aren't likely to show significant changes for your day-to-day users. And even for pro users, this isn't going to be affecting their workflows much at all. But these are the CPU scores. Let's see how this patch has affected the compute scores. And this is basically the GPU benchmarking. And on iOS, this uses the Metal engine, and I think it's Metal version 2 now as of iOS 11. So let's check out those scores. On the iPhone 10, the pre-scores are 14,882 and the post scores are 15,691. On the iPad Pro, the pre-scores are 29,021 and the post score is 29,535. So across the board, we can see that after the patch, the GPU scores have improved significantly, and I can't seem to find an explanation for this one. So I'm glad that the GPU scores have gone up. This should give a very minute boost to your graphic intensive applications like all your drawing and sketching apps that use a lot of GPU, like your video players, etc. And these apps are going to get a minor kick into their performance, and that is a good thing. But again, I'm doubtful that anyone is going to be noticing that. So these are our synthetic benchmarks for the Meltdown Spectre patches, and I'm not sure what to make of these scores except for the iPhone 10 scores, which do show a significant decrease for the multi-core scores. And I would consider myself as a pro user on the iPhone as well as the iPad. So I just got these patches on my phone earlier today, and I'm not really sure how this is going to affect my day-to-day workings. So to find out more about that, if you're interested, you can follow me on Twitter. I'll leave a link to that down in the description as well. You can check it out. I do a lot of rambling there. So yeah, you've been warned. Well, if you've liked this video, oddly enough, you can click the like button. If you disliked it, you can leave me a comment down below as to why you thought you disliked it or what I can improve on. And if you're new around here, hit the like button because I have the Things 3 workflow video coming up next week, and the Lilliput A7S that I'm recording on right now coming in shortly. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.